Well, this video, it's time for me to install a kitchen faucet. And the one I'm going to install is from Moen, M-O-E-N, Moen. And this is the one we're going to be installing. You're going to help me with this, and I hope that you're going to learn some new things along the way. If you want to check that out, stick around. Now before I get going, obviously I'm going to pull all the parts out. I'll probably set them down here on the floor. I don't like putting them on a dining room table or kitchen table or anything like that. Okay, make sure you're mindful of stuff like that. Even on a countertop. I'm at somebody else's house, my auntie's house. We're going to be installing this. I'm just going to set this stuff down here. I'm going to make sure the instruction sheet here, I did notice it says scan QR code for instructions. Okay, and I hope that it also comes with an instruction sheet. If it doesn't, I'll have to figure out what to do, because I don't usually do lots of things such as that. They used to have instructions, but I'll get it all pulled out. We'll get going here in a minute. Okay, I'm getting ready to install this faucet, and yes, no directions anymore. How cheap can they be? But they do that, and you're supposed to take a picture of that. You got all the full directions there. In case you need to read the directions, I urge you to read the directions. Now, what I've seen, this one looks pretty much the same as the other one. See how long these cords are for the hot and cold water. This one happens to have a red thing on it, and it says on here, I don't think you can see that, cut to remove, and that I think is just to remind you, in case this piece of tape is off, that this is the hot side. See, you don't want to pull this off. This is the hot water side, this is the cold water side, okay? And I'll cut this off because I know this tag's here, okay? And you see, here's the quick little connection for the hose, the handheld hose, and here's the handheld hose piece. And see, it pretty much looks like the other one. See, remember, there's a little clip here, and you depress that, and you can pop that other thing out of there. Okay, and it's all on the directions. Okay, and the other thing, I know I'm going to have to put this back on. I have to be careful to see which way to install this little gasket. And see, here's the other gasket, and this thing popped in there with the rubber on the outside. That's if you're going to use this. And because see, if your sink only has one hole in it, maybe it's only got one hole in it, you could just put it right there. This one happens to be this sink is called a 4-hole because this is where the garbage disposal aerator is. So there's a hole here. That's called a 4-hole sink. And we've got 3 holes. So obviously we've got to cover up those 3 holes with this. See, that's going to go right in there like that. That's going to cover up those 2 holes. Now let's say you've got a sink that's only got 2 holes. It's only got 2 holes, and they're centered in here, wherever they're at. One you can use for the garbage, or I say garbage disposal, the aerator for your dishwasher. The other one you can use for your faucet. Now those, sometimes it gets kind of close if you're going to install this kind. Now see, this it has the handle on the side there. So when you open that, there's still enough room. If it was close, if you only had 2 holes to do it, but it's really tight though. Or if you didn't want your air gap, you can install your gap for your dishwasher a different way, and you could put a soap dispenser right there. Or let's say you want a soap dispenser, you got the garbage the air gap for the dishwasher, and you've got you want to put one of these. You're left-handed, let's say. You want to put your pump, your soap pump here. Now you can decide where to put your faucet, and then you can get a blank plate. You'd have to get a blank plate, a white one, probably, or because this is stainless steel, I say stainless steel, it's just plastic with a stainless steel cover on it basically, or this one could be metal with stainless steel on it. Some are different, okay? And so you could get a blank plate for one of these holes, decide how you want everything configured. If you wanted, you could do something like that, but we're not doing anything like that. We're going to use this, okay? I'm going to put that in there, and then I like the fact they give you this little tool. Let's show you that. Okay, that tool is going to be for this nut, and see it fits right in there, and then it's got a hole here and it's got a hole down there. So you tighten it up by hand, then you take a screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, so it fits through the hole, or a small standard screwdriver. A regular one won't fit through that hole, and then you use that as a crank. You hold your hand there and crank it and tighten it and tighten it. Okay. If I had that tool, I could have possibly undone that other one with this tool, but I didn't have one. Okay, and so that makes it nice and easy. That's the only thing that's going to tighten up. And you see, let's look at the old sink. See there? There's a metal nut and there's a plastic nut. Look at over here. Here's the new one, here's the metal nut, and here's a plastic nut. Okay? Same thing. Here's the weight for this one, and there's the weight for the other one. And the thing on the weight, let's get you set up here again. The thing on this new weight that looked kind of slick, you just unclip it and it pulls apart. Now see, this has this metal, this little round thing. That's where your hose is going to be. They just had that in there for shipping, and then you just snap it together. There's your weight, and that's pretty heavy. I don't know how heavy that is. A couple pounds maybe. Okay. And they use it. They use that, and this one had a little clip, and you've got to use a little screwdriver and stuff, and then this thing pulls apart. And before that, they had a split one with this. You put one side on, and then you put a screw in there, or maybe two screws, and clamp it on there. Any types of things, but you've got to use your weight. Okay, so there's our new weight for that. And see, for this thing here, after this goes down the hole, this goes up. This goes up. I'm trying to hold this in one hand and kind of show you what this kind of looks like. See, as it goes up, it's gonna go around. It's going to go around these pipes. That's why it's got the notch in it. See, like that. See, and so that's the only thing that's going to tighten up underneath there. That's something. And then the nut goes on that, and then you've got to put that on. And that's what's going to hold this whole thing up there. And then you're going to use your little tool before you hook on the other part. See, this plastic nut. After you tighten that up, then you put this plastic nut on there. That's gonna hold your handheld wand up in there. Okay, and you'll see all that on the directions. Okay, and then on the handheld wand, you just snap it into there, and then there's a button on it that you can push, and it will come off. Okay, so you see this. Let's just kind of give you a quick and dirty here. on here. Let's see, this part, after I attach that to the sink underneath, then I'm going to screw that onto there. This is going to go on. Ooh, I don't know. I think they gave this as an extra because I don't think that's needed now. Because the old one had a nut on it. We'll just let's look at that. That goes up. And it goes up all the way. Now this one here, I think, just gets screwed in. That's it? Oh no, it goes up. Let's see here. No, I'm wrong. Okay, that goes. You see, I'm gonna have to look at that a little bit closer, but I think this gets shoved down. This gets shoved down here. I think that's what happens. This is the handheld. It gets screwed into that. Okay. And then this comes down and comes out right there, see? And then you've got that nut that just screws up there, and that doesn't attach to anything. It just keeps this sleeve from sliding in there nice. So when this gets all the way down, see, like that, and that goes in there. You follow? You follow me? Then underneath, this weight gets attached. It just slips on there on the outside and snaps on, so it slides on here. And then this gets plugged in and you just snap it in. And you push, you got to depress this a little bit, and then it'll push in. It will push in. Oh, I see. This is a little protector cover. You got to pull that off, and then that gets snapped in there. And then if you want to disconnect it, you push, there's a little push button, and then that pops back out. Let's see, there's not a whole lot to this per se. This piece gets slid in later. You don't even have to worry about that right now. Okay? That gets slid in later. I mean, they really do a good thing with faucets nowadays. All right, so one nut. Can you believe that? One stinking nut attaches this and this here up underneath that, up underneath the sink, and one nut holds the whole thing. That's kind of amazing. And then we'll line this up. Do we want it to the right? Do we want it to the left? And we don't want it cocked at an angle. I usually try to keep that straight across, so as I tighten that up from underneath, I'm going to have to come up here after I get it kind of snug, slide it exactly where I want it, reach underneath there again, tighten it up. If you had two people here, one person can hold that exactly where they want. They can hand you things. It makes it a little bit easier, but if you're just on your own, like VideoJoe, just know that you can do it. Okay? All right, so that's kind of the guts on how this all works. Okay? And I'm ready for the next step. What is the next step?